Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and I wanted to jump back on and talk about some high frequency energy. That reading I channeled earlier today was very heavy. It actually took me a good hour or so to clear my aura and clear my energy field after doing that reading. So I wanted to kind of lighten things up. I did a personal reading this afternoon. I've been very busy. I've had so many ideas and things that I wanted to bring forward and share with all of you, and I've just not had the time. And so my kids are gone swimming at my mom's house after school, so of course I wanted to dedicate some more time to the channel and all of you beautiful people. So about a week or so ago, I had a girlfriend of mine overseas pull my natal chart and link it to some starseed origins. So I kind of wanted to share some of this with you. So I actually started digging into starseed origins within my natal chart a very long time ago at the beginning of my journey. I came into all kinds of knowledge and visions linked to starseed origin on the journey and stuff. And so I've not really talked a lot about it on the channel. I used to talk about it a lot during the beginning of my awakening. And I quickly found that you can't kind of share this information with just anybody. So I kind of feel like you are all my soul family. You are all my tribe. And this is kind of where I'm thinking of taking the channel moving forward, is taking some coursework and studying starseed origins within natal charts, and then offering that as a service come the fall. After taking a little bit of time off this summer, I'm going to hopefully get some coursework done that I've been kind of putting on the back burner. So let's talk about this. So in the beginning of my journey, I was instantly shown that I was linked to Orion starseed origin. I also had a very strong pull towards Lyra, a constellation called Lyra. But I found some other things that I was not quite aware of. I also had a deep instant connection with a lot of the Palladians when it comes to light beings and stuff. And so that definitely showed up in my chart and my twins' chart. So I kind of wanted to talk about the awakening process for me, how this all kind of came to be. I instantly knew that I had this deep past life connection to the Mary Magdalene Sisterhood of the Rose, the Grail line. And I instantly, was shown all of this snake energy, which is, a representation of the Kundalini activation that I went through. And so digging into this starseed stuff definitely explains a lot. So with a Hydra starseed, which showed up in my chart. I'm trying to find the paper. So those of you that follow me, most of you know I'm a Taurus sun sign. I'm also a Virgo moon. I'm a Gemini, Venus in Gemini. And so my North Node is also Leo. So I've got a lot of these aspects kind of working together. And with my 10th house in Sag, my Neptune is in Sag. This is linked to Orion starseed origins. And I do also have some Andromeda in my chart, which is linked to my core wound, my Chiron wound, Taurus. And so when we look at Andromeda starseeds, Andromeda and starseeds, we are these highly evolved, high-dimensional beings, and I traveled higher than the 12th dimension, and most of these starseeds are as high as the 12th dimension, and so we are very advanced souls. So many of us on the twin flame journey, we're likely going to find these aspects in our chart. And so because we are very advanced souls, when we carry this frequency of alignment, of 0 point, of unconditional love, of connecting to source, back to our source, our energy can be felt so far away. We carry this very powerful vibration that does hold the key to unconditional love, which I do link to like Christ consciousness. And so we hold this innate sense of love and kindness, purity, and we radiate this energy outwardly. And this is why many people are so attracted to our light on the spiritual journey, because a big part of our mission is to bring forward this peace and this harmony wherever we go. And we trigger this activation in people just by our energy and being that loving soul, harboring the energy of compassion and kindness. And so we have a lot of innate spiritual wisdom that we hold. We know a lot. We have a lot of knowledge when it comes to the universal laws, and a lot of our mission has to do with keeping things in balance. The universe is always seeking to find that balance, to expand and to continue this human evolution, this transformation into these higher frequencies of being and still being on planet Earth. And so many of us have this amazing ability to see beyond the veil, to see the truth, and we are not afraid of what's coming when it comes to these new earth energies. And so, Andromedan starseeds, we love adventure. That's also Sagittarius energy, without a doubt. This deep exploration, discovering new places, and joy. We carry this vibration of joy. And it's also this energy of, it doesn't matter how many times we get knocked down and we have to rebuild from that 0 point. This is all part of the journey too, is shedding all of these old aspects, reinventing ourselves, rebirthing ourselves, because we're not afraid of change. Change is nothing to be feared. It's just saying goodbye to an old version of yourself, stepping into this new higher frequency. And so we have this very spiritual energy surrounding us. Many of us are deeply connected with the archangels and the ascended masters. And many of us do not believe in materialism. And so we do have this very strong sense of justice that comes forward. And so it's this search for truth. When you awaken to the spiritual journey, whether you're on a twin flame journey or not, you're in search of this truth, this higher truth. And so we want to know why bad things happen to good people. And because we hold this unconditional love, many Andromedan starseeds go through many traumatic, bad experiences. We are very good people, and we can't figure out why do bad things always happen to good people. And so it's this energy of never stopping, searching for that truth, because we're kind of all here to live this very authentic life. And so I found that very interesting that came through. And then Hydra starseed came through, which surprised me. I've not really tapped into that energy before that I was aware of, or didn't link it to that starseed origin. But that is the starseed foundation that carries the serpent lineage, which is connected to the divine feminine collective, the Mary Magdalene Grail line, the pagan bloodline. And so Hydra starseeds, which was found in my North Node and in my South Node, and so as well as my Mars. So Leo energy is where that's being held. Leo, when you think vitality, the sun, strength, Leo is the happiest card in the deck. It is the sun. And so it is this energy of vibrant illumination. And so Hydra starseeds are the bringers of the light. And so if you link it back to the snake energy, all the way back to the Garden of Eden, where the very first woman was tempted by the snake to eat from the tree of knowledge. And so many of us as divine feminines, we hold the key to the universe. We have these activation codes within us, 369. And I've researched that and linked that to, go and read up on Tesla and 369 and what that means, because that is the key to healing the collective as a whole. And so Hydra starseeds are here for that acknowledgement. We are the bringers of the light when it comes to healing the deepest wounds of collective humanity, because that is the deepest core wound, the hate for the original divine feminine, the abandonment of the divine feminine, the demonization of the divine feminine energy, all the way back to the beginning of human existence. And so everything, if you look back in the history of time, was demonized, connected to the divine feminine. everything about the goddess energy was essentially demonized for a very long period of human history. And so we're here to transition out of this old way of consciousness, and many of us hold these keys. Many of us are androgynous, collective, sacred, feminine energies. We hold the key to the Atlantean interstellar wave of infusions, and many of us came into our Kundalini activation in the year of 2019 that hold this serpent energy and prior to. And so we are profoundly connected as light beings to the direct soul genetic lineage of Mary Magdalene. And I did find the Mary Magdalene code in my numerology. It is linked to my my father's name, my last name by my father. It is also linked to Yeshua and Jesus Christ. And so this is what we came here for, these Emerald Covenant lineage. And we all have these predestined ascension codes ranging from 12 to 48 DNA strand matrix. And so when that activation takes place, we carry this tremendous mission for humanity. We are here to transform the serpent lineage and to release all of this past demonizing of the feminine all the way back to mythology times. And so we are here to bring the divine feminine into a state of wholeness with the divine masculine collective on the planet. And so this is our God-given mission for many of the divine feminine on the twin flame mission, twin flame journey. We are here to be these earth goddesses rising, bringing the feminine back, bringing, human consciousness to the next level, bringing nature consciousness back, and this sacred worship of Mother Earth back, because we are here to not only heal humanity, but to help ascend the planet's vibration. And if you follow all of the different aspects of the journey, you'll know when there are spikes with the Earth's energy. Many of us feel this shift. And so we are here to operate at this higher frequency, to embrace this spiritual liberation. And so it's more than just about the journey with another person. It really is about a journey of wholeness for the divine feminine. And as we reach that 0 point, that level of wholeness, then we will attract that high vibration lifetime partnership. And not all of us are meant to have that 3D union. A lot of the lesson is about releasing the 3D version of who that person was, who awakened you on the journey, and knowing that they're never ever separate from you. We're always connected. And so how can you lose something that is actually a part of you? And so going into these origins, I just found it fascinating. I also have my Uranus in Scorpio. So actually I was awakened by a Scorpio, and so this is linked to Centaurus star seeds. And so this is like an alpha, a leadership energy, an alpha star seed. And so it is a very special type of star seed. So we have a lot of knowledge too, as if you were to find this in your chart. I'm saying we, but I know I'm not the only one. So we're here to bring this new architect forward, like when it comes to these foundations. A lot of knowledge when it comes to technology, inventions. We're very ancient spiritual architects. So if you think of, like, I've always been drawn to the Stonehenge and all of those phenomena. And so, Greek mythology really stood out to me at the beginning of the journey. The Da Vinci Code, all of that energy, I was like fascinated with the black arts. I've read so many books about star seeds, the new earth, the time of Christ consciousness, and the coming of the cosmic Christ. And so we're here to bring this positive use of technology forward, to improve ourselves spiritually is another thing, right? So, and this also explains to me why I was so energetically drawn to crystals. Crystals are my thing. I'm like, I've got, a gold mine here in crystals that I work with regularly. And sometimes I'm asked to return them to the earth, to travel to certain locations with my energy, depending on the ascension codes that are being downloaded, and to place certain crystals within the vicinity, within the local vicinity, for my mission and stuff. And so I've always been extremely good at energizing crystals, working with crystals. I love, love, love my crystals. And because on my home planet, I worked with many, many crystals. And so I use a lot of crystals in my healing modalities as well. And it's always like my soul instinctively knows which crystals I need in the energies. And so you know, the crystals help myself on the journey. They're not for everybody, to raise my own human consciousness and my own awareness. And so I'm also here to kind of help instill this social change, and I feel to help people embrace spiritual liberation is what I wrote about. So how do we break free from this negative cyclical world, right? So you think about it, for generation after generation, and you look at the world, we're basically modern day slaves, and we were not born to be these modern day slaves. We were meant to be creators, to explore, to go on adventures, and to not conform to these, you know, very extreme society standards that have become the norm. And so we're here to kind of break free out of that box. And you think of Aquarius energy. My 12th house is Aquarius. So this is what triggered all of these you know, searches. I had this awakening, and I was shown all of these panoramic views in my third eye of past life visions, puzzles, you know, pieces coming at me with all of these different starseed origins, memories, and it was very confusing to find my moral compass going through this fragmentation of the mind, of the soul, and this period of like soul retrieval is kind of what I call it, as all of these fragments were coming at me. And so this is what I did. I started digging into astrology. What the heck just happened to me? Tarot. You know, all of this was just an instant remembrance of this knowledge. And I've read a lot of books, but I've not actually like studied much or taken a course to utilize my gifts. And so it's like this inquisitive energy that kind of gets sparked. And so many of us are here to be these teachers, to teach others how to embrace their own intuitive moral compass on the journey. We all have an intuition. We all have the ability to connect back to source, the source that we came from. And so many of us spend many lifetimes in different starseed origins, mastering lessons, and many of us have reincarnated here many times over to master the human existence. It's a place we come to learn and grow and expand as a soul. And so many of us this lifetime have awakened to build a career out of our gifts, and to, you know, be those spiritual leaders, those architects for these future foundations that we're building for the future, for the children of the future. And so, you know, many of us have several aspects to our mission. And so it was interesting to kind of dig into those different aspects. And then, you know, reading up on Orion Starseed, we are very advanced spiritual beings. We originate from all kinds of different planets and realms. I always think of Orion as the original twin flame collective, duality, masters of duality. I think of war. When I think of Orion, you think of the split. And then it's always been a masculine against a feminine. And at what point in time are we going to work together and collaborate together as equals in an equitable foundation that will be balanced? And so I feel with each Orion starseed, we have our own unique hidden talents. We have a lot of ancient knowledge in our subconscious. And so there's always this predestined point in our life where we hit that 0 point, that reset, you know, a tower of some sort to shake this information awake that's been lying dormant in our subconscious. And so when we actually can access this conscious mind, we call this like a starseed awakening, right? And it's very, very bright when you go through this. You can feel the high energies. You can recognize the energy of where you came from and stuff. It's a beautiful experience. And so we're here to be those truth seekers, no matter what your starseed origin is, guys. We are here to, you know, reach that zero polarity. You know, we live in a 3D world of duality. I am going to go further in depth, hopefully within the next few days, about some of the different dimensions. You know, I'm going to talk about the lower dimensions, the fourth dimension, the fifth, sixth, and seventh, to kind of give you an idea of what it feels like to be in these higher frequencies, in these higher states of consciousness, and traveling these different dimensions. But, you know, if you found my channel, you are here to seek that truth, that knowledge. If you were drawn to my channel and if you resonate with my frequency, even if you don't quite comprehend everything I'm putting out there, there's a reason for that. So trust that, you know, you're on the pathway to truth. You're on the pathway to knowledge and wisdom. And so, you know, with Orion starseeds too, I think we're so slow to really open up with people. We have a difficult time opening up to people, and because we have such a very painful core trauma as Orion starseeds. And I know with the Chiron in Taurus, it is a core wound linked to not feeling worthy of committed partnership, or not feeling worthy. So you think that soul split, and it's almost like the other half of you rejects you, and so you have to go into all of these feelings of unworthiness and self-worth, and you know, we all have a childhood wound linked to that core wound from all of this past life energy as well. And so none of it is separate. And so because we are such deep, loving, caring, and kind, compassionate, empathic starseed beings, we have a hard time opening up because of this trauma from all of our background experiences that have been embedded in the core of our subconscious. And so one of the core wounds for me in the subconscious was the original soul split in the Garden of Eden, Atlantean timelines, as well as the timeline of Christ with the serpent energy, the Mary Magdalene energy. And I've been taken to that timeline several times over to gain this higher state of alignment. And I've been so in touch with my higher self, with my mission, and you know, so determined to help humanity. And so it's kind of hard to master the multifaceted mission too when it comes to Orion, because we are here to embrace our individuality, and that is the energy of, you know, stepping into our uniqueness. That's Aquarian energy. And so 12th house Aquarius is the house of our undoing. It is the house where we meet our karma, where we bury the past. And it is also the house that knows no bounds. And so that's like the activation point is the 12th house. And then we ascend the karma and we climb up Jacob's ladder, like I call it, or Archangel Michael's ascension mission ladder. And so we're all here on a mission of some sort. And so basically the spiritual journey, bottom line, it starts at whatever level your soul is ready and able to unlock some potential and to step into that fullest potential. And so, you know, in order to really open up to your fullest potential, you must first and foremost learn to open up that heart center. We have to open up the heart, and that can be a very painful experience, because to unlock the heart, we have to kind of unlock all of that subconscious traumatic programming, and we kind of gotta, you know, break it apart. It's like defragging a computer and updating it, right? And so I think we're all here to reconnect with our true nature as a human being, all while embracing who we are as a soul. And so it can be very difficult to learn to fully open up and not only trust yourselves, but also the pleasure of the human experience here on earth, because we plan to fear and we think, you know, that joy and knowledge cannot coexist in a 3D reality. And so it's about embracing unity consciousness and knowing that we are never separate. Every time I've done a reading, I can see a connection with everybody that I've met through the astrology, and how we all kind of play our own unique individual role as part of this ascension mission. And so we're all here to be those light beings, those star seeds, to shine our light and to bring our wisdom into the collective. And so I feel we're in this pivotal point on the journey of reconnecting with many of our soul family. And, you know, but we got to be willing to step into our most beautiful self and to allow the energy to naturally influence who needs to come close to us, because we have this ability to kind of rub off on anybody who we come in contact with, and to kind of, activate them as some sort of teaching role, whether you realize you're doing it or not. So I think many of us are coming into this deep awareness that we are spiritual teachers. Many of us are manifesting coaches to some degree, and we're all here to be those researchers. So let's try and get some positive messages, guys. I'm gonna pull some Starseed oracle messages. I just want to try and keep it light for us. So yeah, and this is a big part of our mission, is righting all of these past wrongs. So I do remember being in that position on my knees, and so a lot of the twin flames, we mirror our deepest wounds, and so a lot of us journey together, and so we usually experience the activation very close together, even though we journey most of the journey separately until we reach that 0 point. We usually are flowing up and down together, and so it's about uprooting all of these old beliefs, because we are here to forge these new earth paths. We are here to be these leaders for the children of tomorrow. And so many of us are learning how to bring harmony and balance into our life by balancing our inner masculine and feminine energies. And those of us that are androgynous beings, that were born balanced at 5 masculine and 5 feminine, well, we've already mastered duality. And so we chose a little bit an extra challenging path this life, because we've already mastered duality and non-polarity. And so there's a lot of serious energy, light code activations coming in from serious star seeds. And I feel this deep remembrance. And it's kind of like this energy of, we really got to get to work now. Although many of us journey alone, we are all still energetically working together. So I look at the last couple of years. We had COVID, we had the lockdowns, we were in this great cosmic womb of fear, of worry, of healing our Venus energy, our feminine energy, so we can, surrender to the journey and prepare to take action towards our deepest desires. So many of us have been actively seeding these new earth ascension timelines for several years. And we do that by staying grounded, by connecting with Mother Earth and staying in the present moment. And I know how difficult that can be to integrate that with all of these cosmic truths coming in. So we can all call in support. That's another big message. We do have a whole team of souls supporting us, and some kind of come and go. Not everybody stays the entire journey. People will roll into town, they'll roll out of town, and we all kind of know when to connect with who in divine timing for the next part of the mission. And so I think right now there's a lot of masculines in the collective that are coming into their ancient Akashic memories, Horus, the Eye of Horus, third eye visions, and understanding the protection that they are here to bring forward for this collective mission, because we are here to come back together. That is the ultimate goal. If you have incarnated with your twin this life, it is to have that physical union and to embody unconditional love in these new family structures. And so loyalty and safety, and I do feel it's kind of like this action time, because many of us have a double mission. Many of us are not only light workers and star seeds, we're also channelers, and we're here to serve the world by being authentically us and birthing these new creations into existence. And so, but we have to do that by honoring our true self-expression. So how do we do that? We have deep love for ourselves. Birth as a portal, and so we are in this powerful portal of Andromedan energy. I've been downloading a lot of codes recently, so what are you afraid of? Say yes to this new adventure, because if you really zoom out and you see the big picture and you gain that spiritual perspective, none of this really matters. We're kind of all here to reach that common ground, and we need to trust that all paths lead to home. So where do you need to trust your inner authority? Where have you not been listening to your intuition? Because when we all turn our gaze inward, that is when we know where home is. Are you capable of going into meditation and turning into the heart, going into the heart? That is where the answers lie, not up in the mind that seeks to control, that seeks to divide. The answers are always in the heart. That's where the secret treasure lies, the secrets, the wisdom. So, if you want to tap into your ancestry, your starseed ancestry, you do kind of got to go deep in the heart. And in order to go deep into the heart, you got to feel all of this pain. And pain is also an illusion. Pain, emotional pain, physical pain, it is part of the human experience that we agreed to come here and experience to master these soul lessons. So I feel we're kind of all just being asked to nourish ourselves and to flow through any of the energy shifts that are coming through. Allow the emotions to kind of pass through you, but don't attach to them. Allow, time for care for your physical vessel to rest, to rejuvenate. And I've been told lots of water. We're gonna want to drink lots and lots of water. So let's grab a couple Starseed tarot messages, and then I'm gonna have to call it a day and pick up the kids. Oh, I see. I split the deck. So we're gonna get. We're going to get. A major arcana. I have all the major arcana and the aces in here. So let's get three cards, and then we can clarify with the lower arcana. Ace of Chalice, self-love. Where do you need to honor your higher self? We got the higher self, the chalice of love and guidance. So just a confirmation. The only guidance you need to follow is the compass of your heart. And so when we can master self-love, love of humanity, and tap into our higher self and to trust in the higher guidance. So I do feel like many of us are spiritual Buddhas, spiritual masters, we the Hathors, I just heard. Many of us have ancient Egyptian timelines, all the way back to Isis and Osiris, Aphrodite. The Aries energy comes out. And so where are you needing to engage in a higher reason for your life? Because we are experiencing these ascension energies, and there is a lot of divine truth coming forward when it comes to us harnessing our highest frequency, our song, our soul resonance. And so I feel a lot of heart awakening is taking place as we prepare for this Lionsgate and these higher unions. These are higher spiritual unions. And so our higher self is always guiding us back home. But we also do have a lot of karma to clear. And so somebody is becoming the master of their mind is what I'm feeling. The master of the mind, of the lower mind, the higher mind, coming into a state of balance and trusting in the higher self. And I feel this is where we're all being asked to journey into the highest version of ourselves, to show up for the highest version of ourselves every day. And that is going to manifest that abundance. So many people get it backwards. When we align with our truth, live in gratitude, live in love, live in these high frequency codes every day, that brings the money in, that brings the stability, that brings that solid foundation. It's not about building something that's not in your heart-centered truth. And so we're healing our starseed origins, we're healing humanity, and we are manifesting all of these sacred unions. And so we all have the ability to call in a sacred partnership, but it does require mastering your heart as well. And so, and doing the work. And look at that 10 of Chalice. So this is what we're manifesting. Happily ever afters. We all have the ability to create our own heaven on earth, but we kind of have to do the work. It takes a lot of hard work to master your emotions, to master the mind, and to know and trust that everything you've prayed for is coming. So a big part of the Ascension mission is honoring free will. Many of us are at that crossroads when it comes to these Holy Trinity unions and working together. And I do feel we're asking, the universe is asking us to master this grief, to release the grief, to release the grief. And so in order to become that wise sage, we kind of have to go into these emotions. And I do feel we are so close, you know, maybe by the next lunar cycle, when it comes to balancing all of this karma for our starseed mission. And so I feel this 0 point, and many of us are being asked to step into, you know, honoring the cycles of the universe, the cycles of the planets and Mother Earth, and to step into that phoenix rising. So let's dull it down a bit and grab a couple cosmic journey oracle messages. Ask wonderfully, receive graciously. Polish your mirror for perfect clarity. So I think it is this energy of really doing that look in the mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall, and to stop comparing yourself to others. We all have our own unique individual journeys. We all have our own unique way of channeling energies and messages, and no one is ahead and nobody is behind. And so it's about kind of just flowing with your own energies and doing your own thing and trusting that the people that you need to meet will absolutely cross your path, because we all have this universal encoded energy within us, but we have to go into the stillness if we really want to listen and to meet our true self. So we all contain these codes, and I do feel your great wave awaits. So we're all here to build that legendary legacy, to open up the book of knowledge, and to know that our greatest work is what we are here to leave behind. That is our treasured work. And so many of us are ready to take those rose-colored glasses off. We're ready to look at things at face value. And I think we're all finally preparing to take charge of our galactic destiny is what I'm feeling, because there's a massive wave of awakenings coming in. And we're kind of being told we have the ability to write new earth into this reality, but we kind of got to say yes to this open door. So where are you needing to be the hero of your cosmic journey? That's that Excalibur's sword. You're at the divine Y point and likely have a grandmother on the other side as part of your star family, your cosmic star family, that maybe you've been playing hide and seek with, or maybe you're about to play hide and seek with as part of your treasure chest hunt to finding out who you truly are as part of your ancestry, your cosmic ancestry. And so we're all being presented with this decision. We can choose to repeat and stay stuck, or we can choose to break the patterns and ascend into these higher frequencies. So we all have the ability to be the hero of our own lives. And that's kind of what we're all being asked to do. I feel a lot of catalytic energy has been coming through to kind of redirect many of us recently. And we're kind of at that pivot point. So I'm going to read the cosmic hero, the hero of your cosmic journey. Oh my gosh, 148. And then I think we're going to call it a day. And I'm going to go get the kids and make some dinner, guys. So let's see here. The soul giraffe. Oh my gosh, the giraffe energy. Here we go. Okay, so this is basically where we're at that pivot point, the fork in the road, where we are being shown our path of divine destiny. So we all have free will. We can say yes or we can say no, but I feel there's a mythic story about to unfold within the Twin Flame Collective, and there is going to be a brand new adventure. So we do need to remember, though, too, we're always the only one we're waiting for. So where are you resisting stepping into this unity of self and calling in your true counterpart? Because greatness is awaiting us all, but we have to believe it, and we also have to put in the action steps to achieve it. So I do feel we're being asked to be the hero of our own life. We all have a hero deep within. We all have a hero within our collective consciousness, within our subconscious mind. And so we all have a path to fulfill this life when it comes to our purpose. We all have a great big purpose, and it doesn't have to be massive, but it's what you came here for, this life. And so somebody is being driven to find that. We can't keep playing into reluctancy, skepticism, fear. cynicism. We kind of gotta, you know, go on the path. And once the activation begins, I'm sorry, there's just no going back. You gotta just keep putting one foot in front of the other. We're here to move forward. And so I think if you've been struggling recently, I think you're about to find some new allies, some new guides. I think many are coming into some very magical gifts that have been awaiting to surface. And we're kind of reaching that point of no return is kind of what I'm feeling. And so we got to keep continuing the evolution pathway, because we are finally ready to return home to self. And so I find we're in this threshold energy. We're ready to reach the final saga of the journey. And so it's kind of time to pull that sword out of the stone, Excalibur's sword. But you know, every great quest begins with questions. So the best thing I ever did in my adult life was question, who am I? Why am I here? Why have I done this with my life? Why do I keep repeating the same negative cycles? And so what is your cosmic journey quest? I think is a good question to ask. Where are you on your cosmic journey? And how can you write your full story as your own hero? We all have a book inside of us. Whether we write it on paper or we channel it on YouTube without a pen, I think activations are coming in intense rates. I heard thunder outside and the wind just picked up. So there's a storm brewing. There's a lot shifting rapidly, clearing for this new energy. So I think it's kind of time for all of us to be the hero of our own life. And so get ready for a quest. I feel a quest, some radiant illumination of some sort coming up here. So that's what I got, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin soul reading with me, I encourage you to check out that description box below, guys. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.